Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As you can about title of today's video, we're here to ask, are 7-4 builds doomed in NBA 2K26 after the new contest patch? So, if you haven't heard about that, Mike dropped a tweet last night saying that this was going to go live today, or in the case of you watching the video, it's, a day later as well. But as you can see, this is gameplay from the day of the patch, and it's just clips of me, Kitchen, and Connor on our 6'9", 6'10", and 6'11" builds coming out here and just contesting them like crazy. Whether it is hands up or it's jumps, whatever the case may be, you're going to see a lot of reds popping up right here, and that was not the case pre-patch in a major way. Like, in the clips that I would talk about 7-4s, it would be like if we got a 30% contest, I'd consider that pretty good, if for a 6'8", 6'9", and a 6'10", 11 build, whatever the case may be, to register. In this case, a lot of these clips, you're seeing hands-up defense getting 60s, 40s, jumps into the 70s, 60s, 80s, whatever the case may be. And I mean, these are against the super tall 7-4s of the world as well. Like, this is crazy. Now, they did say that the patch was meant to be a minor buff to the contests, and especially was meant to be something that would like lower the extremities of the height advantage that you'd have over people. But man, I mean, as you can see, we're getting jumps on that, and again, it's a 71. I'm gonna tell y'all for real, I have not really got many 71 contests on a 7-4. And again, point of the video, we're here to ask, are they cooked? So what you're going to see in this clip and just all the footage that we have right here is Kitchen going crazy on his 6'11", and then us playing a bunch of different 7-4s. Now, this is the one clip that he did something bad, and it's a contested shot, obviously on a lockdown right here. That's like 6'7" or so, 6'8". And as you can see, he also got contested into the 50s as well. Now, a lot of y'all have been asking about that because I was posting about Kitchen's build recently, talking about how this is like, the 7-4 killer in the first place. Like the fact that a 6'11" gets good contests on it, and then the 7-4s can't guard him anyway. It's even more extreme now. But yes, just know, obviously you do not want to take miserably horrible shots or anything like that in the face of somebody, especially even if you are 6'11". I mean, if a 7-4 can't do it, yeah, the 6'11" can't either. But the types of shots Kitchen has been making of like the fades and stuff like that, and the open shooting just in general, and the ability to actually just move better than these 7-4s. Again, like the thing with these 7-4s is when they catch the ball like this right here, you're kind of just a catch and shoot guy. I mean, yeah, there are some that do put the ball on the floor. Don't get me wrong. I've seen plenty of them that can dribble at like a decent rate and are like able to get themselves open somewhat with that normal behind the back and, like kind of moving around here and there, or maybe even fading, but they don't get shifty shooter. They obviously don't have the elite level of shooting badges that, let's say, a 6'11" can get. And overall, they're just a defensive liability, all things considered. So a contest like that right there from Kitchen and Connor, right there, as you can see, like that's a 78% on this 7-4 pop right here. So he tries like kind of just being open. And again, bad catch to be fair, but yes, a jump contest into a 78. I mean, as you can see, like, sure, we're in the transition. Kitchen with the catch, run, fade. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about that build is capable of. Right here, Connor off only 2 adrenaline, getting the jump right there and registering a 58, 59% contest, and then being out in transition as well. Point being, like, it's just not worth, if you ask me anymore. So I know there were a lot of people on Twitter talking about like they were going to do something like this where they're going to wait as long as they could for people to sink their money into a 7-4, then nerf it. The thing is, look, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be a smart concept. Like if you were trying to, get a little money grab here and there. But what I do want to be realistic about with this conversation is that obviously it takes a little bit of time to fine tune this type of a patch. And I gotta say, I think they cooked. I think they did really well with this. I was worried they were gonna go overboard or very underboard and not do a single thing. And like then we just have to wait for another week or two of the patch coming in. But like, something like this is a little bit extreme, I can't lie. The fact that Kitchen's getting a 64% contest on hands up on the 7-4 right there is pretty wild, but at the end of the day, it is just a 5-inch height of difference. If you put that into perspective in different heights, that's like, for instance, let's say a 6'4" contesting a 6'9". It's not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard of. Also, I gotta shout out Kitchen big time because he was really getting onto something. I was gonna upload this to you guys to like a tip video on how to guard these 7-4s before the patch, because we were starting to figure it out a tad bit as well. And I gotta say, Kitchen cracked the code and he has conveyed that information to me, and I've been putting into play of my own gameplay, and I've cracked the code as well now too. And the way to contest these guys is just the proof's in the pudding. I will have a separate video talking about how to register better contests on any build in this game in general. I understand it's a little bit of gatekeep, I'm sorry, but we will have it very soon, a video talking about how to contest. Now, obviously, sure, the jump contests are not worth talking about. Obviously, stuff like that, you want to just, get the best timing on your jump you possibly can. However, there is still something to talk about with the placement of where you put that contest, and we will talk about that another time. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to show a couple of these clips. But once again, look at Kitchen. Like, this is the build with 75 ball handle, bronze lightning launch turned into gold, like 91 three-pointer, 93 mid-range, the ability to still defend well and be versatile, and not be something that's just, you know, forcing your team to play through you all game like the 7-4s are, because we are going to show in this gameplay what happens when you don't play through the 7-4 all game, because he's a little bit more nerfed. Problem is, you're still just as bad defensively. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get right to that. Alright, so I want to start us off with a gameplay that highlights the fact that you need to use these 7-4s in general on offense, or else it is just going to be a completely voided thing. And this is like already what we were talking about before the patch of like, yeah, they're dominant and they will make a lot of shots and they're a great shooter, but that's about all they're good at on the court, if you ask me. They need to be utilized as a shooter, or else it will just be lost value in terms of the type of thing they can bring to your offense. And again, as you can see, like this guy is shooting 87% from 3. Granted, they seem to be new builds, so don't take the stats too seriously, but as you can see, this whole squad right here, the guy at the 2, who's meant to be the rebounder and the offensive rebounder, crashed for the 7-4 that shoots and stuff like that. Then they have a small guard as well. They pretty much don't have locks. They have a small guard that's shooting 89% from 3, averaging 17 points per game. They got that 7-4 that's meant to just shoot over people, and the guard, once again, to shoot in people's face. This is like literally textbook, you're patched lineup right here. Guard that just is built off shooting on people, and the 7-4 that's built on shooting on people. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like in today's video. And as you can see, we're on the 28 game streak right here. The streak got up to like 35, 34, something like that, and then we did end up losing. I forget what to be honest. I think it was more of a stage guard like meta, if you will. Nothing like to do with these 7-4s. But as you can see, this team is actually a bit unique, and I will give them props for it. They have, like I said, the fading guard as well as a pick and popper at the 2. And then they have their stretch in the corner. So he's ideally playing corner to corner. Thing is, he doesn't know he's not guarding the corner. He's guarding Kitchen be chilling over here. So he's got to guard this dude that's coming out here fading from 3 on the wrap-ups and stuff like that all game. Or he'll have to switch. And eventually you will see he actually does pick up on the fact that he should probably go guard someone else on the court, to be real. Now, I don't know how that guard ended up making that right there. I'm not gonna lie. Making layups in this game is already kind of a tough thing to do, especially when the animations change up and then to get a 28% on it. Kind of wild. But anyway, again, we're letting Kitchen just put this 7-4 on an island. I'm getting out the way, boom, getting down there, and this dude has to guard him all game. Now, let me ask you, and let me tell you something. I don't know why the clip kind of stuttered like this right here, as you can see. But anyway, point being, what are you supposed to do about this? If you are stuck on the 6'11 right here as that 7-4, do you mean to tell me that anybody on the game can guard this type of a build and this type of motion right here? Fading is extremely overpowered. You can see that in small guard gameplay and stuff like that everywhere you go in this game. It's hard to keep up with the fades. Just in general, the pull animation and the ability to just make them in general is tough. Now, compound this with the fact that if he is trying to contest that shot, and they are, trust me, that means that the rebound is one-on-one. Now, to be fair, they had a really good lineup. Like I said, they have a rebounder surrounded by that 7-4 and a small guard. So, like, this is about as good of a lineup as you can do to surround that 7-4 with, if you ask me. But the thing is, and you will see another one, too, where they play through him entirely. The thing is that, like, if you're not providing that value offensively, what are you doing? You're just out here playing bad D the whole game. I mean, as you can see, Kitchen Dex he's like, oh, no, he beat me on the Dex. I got to jump now. And now he's jumping for choice out of place. And I understand that's maybe not the best stick defense you've seen. But, bro, I don't know who could load up here on a 7-4 and guard, like, honestly, even the average player on that 6'11 build that Kitchen has, let alone him, who, like, really is really good at that build and that style as well. But anyway, again, into the pick and roll offense right here, pick and pop. You can see they end up just dragging it down with the popper right there. He ends up not getting open on the guard, and then boom, we get the rebound off the double crash from the 7-4 and the 6-8 right there. Kitchen contributing on the rebound a little bit as well as me grabbing him. Now, here's the thing. Now they switch him on to me, and now I'm thinking, do I want to cook the 7-4 or low-key? Let's just put him in screens. He can't hide. He can't go anywhere, bro. Like, he cannot leave this. He's going to get stuck guarding somewhere, everywhere you go. And here's the thing. The build that we have Connor on is not quite the offensive demon, so like he should be guarding Connor but doesn't know it quite yet, so he's just gonna finally figure that out eventually. But the thing is that I would like to surround this lineup with like Bonnie, for instance, on his 89 three-pointer, kind of like shooting. It's like a two-way sharp 6'8 essentially that's still good at defending versatilely as well. And I mean, you guys have seen it on the channel if you've been tuned in. Like, it's everywhere. So anyway, once again, we got him on me. Again, I could just cook him simply like for the dunks and stuff like that, but I'm not quite the 3-point hunter, so let's just give the ball to Kitchen and put the big man in the screens. This is what a lot of y'all used to say back in the day too, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it more than anything I've ever seen on my channel, and it truly is my vendetta to the comment section of when people say, like when I was on pure inside centers, right? What are you gonna do when I put my 7-4 on you and just sit paint? I used to hear that all the time, and every single year you'd see stuff like this. I'd be like, well, what are you gonna do when I set a screen for my guard and all of a sudden you have to guard the 3-point line? Nothing. You can't guard that. It's just, you're too slow. And it's literally the whole point of why tall players like that don't exist in the NBA at a high rate, unless you're a freak like Wemby, who's super athletic and versatile in terms of the way they play D. Like, super tall players like Yao Ming would probably struggle in today's game because they can't keep up in the foot speed. You're gonna get targeted on defense no matter where you go, and it's just a tough look. So again, like, it's really why I would say people like Luka Garza, or let's say even Jokic for instance, struggle to guard the pick and roll because they're just not fast enough. And yeah, you could sit back on defense all game, but can your lockdown get through the screen all game? I mean, it's tough, man. Leaving it a one-on-two all game and just guarding the paint, it's not exactly gonna work. As you can see right here, once again, another 52% contest. I didn't put it in the video and the clips and stuff like that because obviously it's not a great shot opportunity right there. But anyway, Kitchen, 21 points, 7 for 7, didn't miss a single shot. Even if he did, their big man has to contest the shot itself, so I'm grabbing the rebound. And again, when they tried to hide him and take him off Kitchen and put him on me and think that he could just sit paint, even though I can also shoot for that matter too. He wasn't even sitting paint though, obviously he was just like playing a little bit low on me. But yeah, I just wanted to prove a point that we could put that into the pick and roll, and that's even more of a problem. Or not to mention, if he steps to Kitchen, I can just pick and pop too. I could still get wide open, empty pick and pops off like the opposite side of our corner spot up. And even if he were to switch with something like that, or just randomly catch them slipping, we could do that. Or once again, if this were like Bonnie's build at the 2, for instance, we could just still do the same exact thing we've done to the 7-4s as well. So they're not safe on the court, bro. They cannot guard the 3-point line, and that's just the dead truth. And then if you're not doing anything offensively, you're not contributing at all. He had 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 for 1. You can't be this build on the court and do this. You just can't afford it at all. So while I did say it's a unique lineup and interesting to actually surround the 7-4 with, the problem is that when you're not forcing the ball through him all game like a small guard would, for instance, you need to use that small guard on offense. We've said this multiple times on the channel, so I don't want to keep repeating myself in every single video that we talk about these 7-4s, but you need to use them on offense. And the problem is that you can't overuse them anymore because it's not that easy. So now let's go ahead and theorize what would be the best thing you could surround the 7-4 with in theory, if you were going to use them a ton. And the answer is 2 locks. Just get 2 locks out here and play with a 7-4, run your whole offense through them, and then just literally just let them guard up and rebound the ball well as well. So as you can see, the guy at the 1, a little bit of an ISO option while still being a good defender, 92 per MD, while also having the ISO ability of like the ball handle. I'm sure he has 83 3-pointers, or yeah, 83 3-pointer as well as like 96 driving dunk. And then a 94 offensive rebound guy at the 2 that also can still shoot. So he's not just gonna have to like sit block only, but he's there to grab the boards for if this 7-4 misses. And as you can see, the dude shoots like 81% from 3, 11 points per game, 89 3-pointer, the standing dunk, block, all that, the offensive, versatility, as well as good defensive rebounding. So in theory, it's the exact opposite of the type of lineup you just saw, where they had 2 offensive options and then the 7-4 could just blend into their O a little bit easier. This is exactly what I was just telling y'all, is that you should play through the 7-4 in theory, except can you? I don't know, man. It's a bit tough. So anyway, right here, I try and get the wrap up for Kitchen. In case you don't know, I'm trying to open the floor right there. So if you ever see me dribbling like a bot, just know I'm trying to run away from Kitchen to run into an area where he can then have more space. So what you're going to see in this part right here is I'm staying on the left side of the court in order to give Kitchen more room to operate right here on the wrap up. He doesn't get the shot to go on a missed open, and unfortunately now they end up having a little bit of an edge on us of having the ball first. I mean, I don't think it's that serious anymore though in threes, to be real with you. I think like I used to worry about stuff like that, but I'm not gonna lie, the contest buff, it's certainly there. So you're gonna see this guy run the whole offense through him, and I'm not gonna lie, there will be times where he bangs shots, and to be fair, I'm the type of person, I don't know about you guys, I'm the type of person right now that registering a 20% contest is enough for me. If dudes are gonna make the 20 all game, that's more power to them. That's them being good at the game, I suppose, or like timing their shot well. Me personally, if you were to contest me 20% every shot I took, I would not shoot very well. But since I shoot opens all game and I only shoot opens like this whole year, I shoot like 73% from 3. So yeah, as far as the impact that a contest has, for me in particular, it's pretty serious. Now right here, we unfortunately did not have it set up very well as far as who was going to guard that 7-4, so we've already spent an adrenaline trying to jump at him, and now as you can see, they're going to be running him through screens. They're trying to do everything they can to just get him open off ball. Connor goes for one jump, ends up not getting anything right there. Connor's in his face again. He's just jumping, and it actually impacts the animation that he shot in the first place, so the timing was off. Now, Penny, one of my boys that I've been playing with, who I'm in corner that used to play on Joe's Pro-Am team, he has said to me that if you are face guarding him and hugging him enough to where it actually impacts his jump shot animation, that's also a good way to contest him, or at least defend him. And as you can see in this case, I don't know if Connor really did that intentionally, to be fair, but it ends up like forcing his jump shot animation to be different, and it was open in all fairness, but again, that was a 0 adrenaline play where Connor had nothing left. Now, unfortunately, a bit uncharacteristic right here. We have a lot of good plays set up for Kitchen, but he's missed 2 opens now, a wide open for that matter as well. But again, I mean, you can see by his shooting percentages, he's also like really on that stuff as well. So the opens go in at a really high rate for him. But again, I just wanted to show the full gameplay just for the sake of like showing you what we do defensively on this guy. So Kitchen with the hands up contest right there, 19, makes him miss. The thing is, they have a lot of rebounding around him. It's a very optimized lineup in terms of playing with this guy right here. And as you can see, he stalls out a little bit, throws a grenade down to his guy at the 2 right there. He doesn't get anything to go. So whether you want to call that on the 7-4 or not, that's up to you. But obviously, he had to throw the ball somewhere because he couldn't get the shot off in so much time. And then also, since he was too slow, he can't get back in transition and gives up a 3 to Kitchen right there. Now, they're doing a little bit of like a 3-man wrap situation, right? It's getting us a little bit out of sorts. We obviously have to do things to like, enable ourselves to defend this. As you can see, Connor's not really going for that nonsense anymore of like jump, because it's not as intimidating, to be fair. And as you can see, a 50% contest right there on the big. I end up going with a bad meter dunk. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was not the best offensive game from me and Kitchen by any means. I mean, the fact that we've stopped them as many times as we have and it's 5-3 right now is not exactly good for us. But we're missing a lot of opens, we're missing a lot of makeable things. I probably could have got to a better take than that meter dunk, and then even more ugly, runs out of bounds on accident. So take this gameplay with a little bit of a grain of salt. I'm just here to show you contests, simply put, all in one game so that you don't have to like think I was only pulling the best clips and in the best case scenarios and stuff like that. As you can see, a nice little slip right there. We actually got to our pick and roll game a tad bit. I figured if I'm just going to ISO for this because we don't like our matchups anywhere else, I might as well just take easier 2s by trying to get slips and see if we can mix in some 3-point looks along with that. But as you can see, they play too high right there, and then boom, we just get the nice little slip. And again, that gives me the 2-way tenacity. Now, good movement by him right there. Good little wrap up. It was like a mini wrap up, not too far, but he ends up getting wide open on that, and I think we can all agree that's a good shot selection. It's not the type of thing that you'd really think like that's toxic, that's like only 7-4 made or anything like that. Like as you can see, Kitchen obviously fading as well off the screen. That's a 6'11 doing that, I mean, it's not the most ridiculous thing to think that a guy who can shoot can get open and shoot the ball. I'm not going to sit here and say 7'4s literally can't do anything anymore. The dude's still a player at the end of the day. Now, as you can see, he tries to go for the step back. I'm unfortunately not even there to help Connor, but as you can see, he gets through the screen, gets the jump, gets a 54 on him again. Hey, I don't know about you, but I've seen enough. And then as you can see, we wrap Connor up right here. He ends up trying to go for the fade, doesn't get anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it on the catch right there and go for the layup. But obviously, as you can see, the intention was to try and have Connor, get at that 7-4. We don't do it too often because he isn't on a pure lock at the end of the day. And then as you can see, things start falling out of hand right here. We get a lock, steal on their lock that tried to like dribble himself open. 7-4 is trying to catch up the Kitchen in transition and can't get a contest at all, wide open. And hey, I mean, once again, you really do have to think about the defense on these builds. They can't play great D. I mean, it's just the truth, But anyway, a bit of an overload look right here. So I'm obviously trying to show out the corner a tad bit since there's 2 guys on one side. 7-4 is going to wrap up right here, get another 9% contest to go. So again, shout out to him. I mean, we can break this one down a little bit more. Obviously, like let's go ahead and like actually do the deep dive on this. So a bit late, a bit to the side, and obviously low elevation on the contest. Again, I will have a tipped video for you guys, but you know what, since we're this far into it, let me tell you. If you hold your left trigger, you're only going to get one hand up. If you don't hold LT, you get both hands up. The thing is, when you only hold up on the right stick, you get this verticality aspect of things, and you actually get your hands up higher, which registers higher contest. Now, there will be more tips than that in the video whenever we do drop that pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. I just wanted to drop one little nugget on you guys, and as you can see in that case, Connor was holding LT and only got one hand up. So not exactly the best look for us or anything like that. But anyway, as you can see, the dude jumps out the corner trying to guard me in the paint. He still isn't there, obviously, on Connor. And, oh, well, it is what it is, right? I mean, again, we're not really here to show him playing like good or bad defense. I'm just here to show contests at this point and show this team that really is kind of boxed into the idea of just playing through the 7-4 because they don't have enough offensive potency from the 1 and the 2 to really get anything done. As you can see, we're switching everything. They're really trying to get things open. Nothing's there. The big man's rapping once again. We get a 19% contest. So, remind you, he's made 3 3-pointers. It was a 9, a 20, and a 19 so far. And then I think he made another one that was probably open, I believe, right? I don't really entirely remember. But either way, point being, yeah, he's made 4 3-pointers, but I mean, it wasn't enough to win the game here at all. And obviously was at low efficiency, and they don't have anything else on the court that can really get the job done offensively. So he is just forced to be that guy that needs to hit yellows all game. As you can see, Kitchen with the hands up contest right there, 45. It's not going to win the game anymore, bro. You can't really like play through this anymore if you ask me. So, anyway, he goes 4 for 9. And they don't have anything else on their court that can generate offense. And we still go 9 for 12 when they have 2 locks on the court next to him. So the only thing that they could hope for is that their locks play stellar defense to like enable him to actually like go with getting more shot opportunities than this. But again, this is the type of problem you're going to run into. You really like are going to have to move your feet on defense. Hope that even Kitchen just misses 2 opens like he did right here. Otherwise, we would have just only missed 1 shot, and it would have been also my bad dunk meter attempt. I mean, realistically, we could have gone like 100% right here. And then, I mean, I guess you could say the same for him if he's able to hit 20s and stuff. But again, that's the difference. That's the skill gap, I guess, if you're going to play on the 7-4. Can you hit 20, 30s, 40s, 50s? That's how guards have to get the job done sometimes. But the thing is, they can dribble themselves open. Kitchen, for instance, can dribble himself open. We can move him around off ball with the wraps and get himself open. So the thing is, we're not talking a battle of open shots versus open shots anymore because people can't register contests on the 7-4. We're talking a battle of, can you make contested shots actually like 20s and 30s, opposed to, can you even guard people enough to make it anything more than an open? I mean, I'm just being real. So I will say, I want to finish this video off. I'll load up another gameplay, but it's not going to be something that we really want to stress too much. But let's finish one little point off right here. So what I want to kind of stress the point of is that I'm not really sure my opinions uphold quite as much when it comes to 5s just yet. I will say though, I don't think they're going to be as powerful, and it's not something that, like, if you saw my tweet the other day, I'm not really sure where my head's at as far as Pro-Am goes, because I thought like there was no reason not to bring 7-4s in. Like, if in case you missed it, we won the Pro-Am Summit event. We were in first place for quite a while, ended up 3rd and finished top 5, which was the highest you could, like, you know, reward tier you could be in. And the way we did it, and I was going to make a video on it and talk about the ugly state of Pro-Am and how, like, truly I don't see any reason that I wouldn't have loaded in on a lineup like this, but it was 2 7-4s, 2 6-11 kitchen builds right here, and then my build at the 1. Essentially, we just ran 2 kitchens on the hash, 2 I'm in corners, like, you know, 7'4" builds in the corner as well, and essentially just shot over people all game, and I just fed them with my legend dimer, as well as like my ability to kind of just move into areas and distribute. And the defense didn't even matter. We didn't even play defense because, like, we were just trying to let people score faster to end up getting more points in the event. The thing is that, like, we were still winning games by 80. We had games of, like, 180 points on offense, bro, off literally just, like, shooting over people and me just passing the ball to someone like Kitchen and him just doing something like this. Catch, run, fade. Boom, there's an assist, there's a 3-pointer. It was working toward the event, right? And then if he wasn't open on something like that, then we would just pass to a 7-4, shoot it over someone's smaller head because we had 2 of them, so you had to put your, you know, defender somewhere to actually like be able to like hide, obviously. And the thing is, if we had 2 of them, it's kind of hard to do so. Anyway, my point is that in Pro-Am, I was feeling like it was a really ugly state of the game. I figured, why would you run anything other than this lineup? It's so powerful, it's so dominant, and it just seems kind of stupid not to. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Now, I feel like just off the vibes, just off kind of the aura of like the lineup, right, and how the game plays, I feel like I would want a lockdown on the court. Now, I do still think I'd probably want, let's say, I'm gonna give you a lineup idea, right, essentially, of what I'm thinking. I still don't know if I feel like small guards are the move. I would rather have 2 kitchens on the court and have like 2 6'11s on my hashes, me running 5 out on the 6'10, and then probably, let's say, 1 big man that plays corner to corner, like a tonic keyboard, for instance, that's maybe on a footer, or maybe even still a 7-4. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. But I do still think 1 to at least maybe 2 locks is the play I'm looking for. I feel like the 6'9", block to play some like 5-out defense, as well as maybe even just be switchable on the screens with me, for instance, or maybe 2 6'9" locks, and we just say scrap the whole corner-to-corner idea, and let's say Tonic can also load up on a build like Kitchen's right here, and just play, you know, that role instead. So it's possible that we just go like, let's say 2 6'11s, me on a 6'10", and then 2 6'9" locks. Now, that obviously still is a huge lineup. I mean, the shortest player on the court being 6'9", and the tallest one being 6'11" is quite the switchable, you know, venture right there. That is hard to play, if you ask me, and that's why I think it really would be a superior lineup. But the thing is, in 5s, I do still feel like you can load up on a 7-4. You can still hide them in the corner. They don't have to play great like foot speed defense, right? I mean, you can still leave them on a traffic cone on offense, and they don't really have to guard anything. But come on, man, look at Kitchen. Like, that's too hard to guard. That's a lockdown trying to keep up with him, bro. Like, it's tough, man. That's a 23 as well. But, like, I mean, hey, like we just said, if dudes are going to be coming out here hitting 23s as a 7-4, I mean, the same thing can be said for a 6'11. So, I don't know. The ability to get open and actually play defense and stuff like that and be a versatile, crazy build that can get contact dunks driving as well. It just seems like it's the inferior build now, if you ask me, being 7-4 in the park. But again, for 5s, I just wanted to make my point known because I really wanted to like stress this. I don't think they're completely done for. I think you will still see them in Rec Center and like, let's say, obviously, you know, Team Pro-Am. I don't know about Comp Pro-Am, to be fair, but we'll see. I'm not really willing to stand on that just yet, that 7-4s are completely extinct in the Comp 5 runs or anything like that. But anyway, that's all video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub, if you're new to channel, noties, all good stuff. Like always, try this one to 1,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put 7-4 or put 6'11 in the comments. Short sports mail right through. Hey man, like I said, as you can see, that is very hard to guard. To be real with you, it's a tough scene for sure. I mean, we could show more of Kitchen, but I mean, as you can see, it's just open 3 into, you know, miss right here, and then him just cooking up from deep bomber, limitless range right there, 6 for 6 on that 7-4's head. Once again, 0 points, 0 for 1, didn't do anything. What can you say? I don't know. I mean, it's all we played today. I showed you everything we have of playing 7-4s, besides some 2s that obviously it's the same song and dance every time of like, they can't guard him, he can guard them. I don't know what to say any more than that. Anyway, that's all video. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, if you made it to the end, put 6'11 or put 7-4 in the comments. Search sports mail right through. Anyway, that's all. Hope you enjoyed. None of that. Take it easy, man. Peace.